in Nashville. We are here with another episode of Regenerative Inspiration, and with who's becoming a very good friend of mine, Abe Mbow. And
Mbow.
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 Okay.
Any salad.
Mbow. We'll tie it with a bow.
There you go.
Skilled workforce. That's been your life and your passion for the last thing. But last night we talked, and all of a sudden I find out Senegal's in your past, and you speak fluent French. I'm like, okay, what in the world? Now, how did you end up in Nashville?
Listen, it's a story, man.
Are you an artist, or are you playing some, like, strumming some stuff, and you end up in Nashville?
It's a story I can tell, and I'm telling you, it's an awesome story because I grew up in France from Senegalese background. I've been living in the U.S. for over 25 years, and how I came to Nashville is actually related to my wife's job. So she had this awesome opportunity with a corporate based out of Nashville. And the family packed out of Cincinnati 8 years ago now, I should say, and just relocated to Nashville. And that's when I actually transitioned from my job with Coca-Cola and started my own business, Skilled Workforce. And never looked back, my friend.
Perfect.
Never looked back.
So growing up, your parents were both working for the UN, and so you traveled a lot. So tell me about that and what that was like growing up.
Well, I mean, like, my wife, my mom worked for the UN. My dad was working for the administration, and we just had an awesome opportunity to be exposed to traveling at a young age, and and that's the reason why actually I came to the U.S. For school, and actually ended up making a life out of it. I joined the United States military in the way, and it's just been a great experience.
Yeah. So you were in the Navy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was your role in the Navy?
Yeah, so I served 10 years in the United States Navy, and I was what we call a navigator.
Okay.
I was in maritime navigation, so anything related to voyage management, my team was responsible for doing that.
So I have a story about navigating, piloting. So I have a friend in Panama, and so they pilot. They were with the tugboat company, but they would need to pilot the ships, the big ships, cargo ships, to get them ready, or the gas ones to dock them. Yeah. And so one day I'm down there. He's like, "Hey, I got a call." He's like, "Come be my assistant." And I'm like, "I would love to be up there, like, piloting the ship." So we get on the tugboat. Like, the tugboat, that is a hard job. Like, you have to jump off the tugboat.
Yep.
It's onto the ladder, climb up the ladder.
Yep.
And, so I was the assistant in training.
Yeah.
But got to go up and, like, steer for, like, a couple seconds. But it was pretty cool.
I got to tell you, speaking out Panama, I actually, when I was in the military, serving on board, which ship was it? I think it was the USS Gridley, DDG-101.
Okay.
So when we commissioned the ship out of Florida and we were sailing it to the Panama Canal and bring it to San Diego, we actually did a Panama Canal transit, nighttime Panama.
Which is awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, getting the ship being pulled by those locomotives, it's an awesome experience.
Yeah. So those pilot ships were amazing. Which is really cool.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So tell me, favorite place you've ever been? Actually, with that much travel, like, where's your favorite place you've ever been?
So many, but I think, like, my favorite place that I've ever been is Croatia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Split,
Croatia. Dubrovnik and Rijeka. Rijeka? Okay. Is that how Rijeka?
I don't know how to say it.
Fantastic.
Even though it. Yeah. I have heritage from that area. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was more when it was Yugoslavia.
So,
yeah,
right.
Before that. So my grandma was 100% Yugoslavia. Yeah.
I mean, beautiful country, and it was just a phenomenal experience for me, especially Dubrovnik, because it is pretty much like the city on the sea, right?
Very cool. Yeah. It was very cool. Yeah. If you haven't visited Croatia, you should do it. It's actually not too expensive.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. So now, Australia is on my bucket list.
Okay.
I've been to many places. I mean, I actually have a map at home in my office where I have a pen with all the places that I lived, all the places that I've been, and all the places that I would like to go. So
what about France? What was, like, your favorite part of France?
France is just awesome. The food is great. And lived in Tours, which is about 55 minutes away from Paris by bullet train. And a great experience there, too. Great experience. Yeah. Amazing.
I like Nice, France, the best.
Of course.
So,
too expensive.
So nice. Well, yeah. I just visited. So tell me about coming from, France to here.
Yeah.
25 years in the U.S.
Yeah.
What was it like kind of breaking in? Like, did you finish school here?
Yes, I actually was able to get my MBA from Xavier University in Cincinnati and my undergrad from St. Louis University in Florida. But anyway, so your question was transitioning from France and coming to the U.S. It was quite an experience because I guess the best way I can frame this is it's two different countries, very different in terms of everything is done, the way everything is done. So coming to the U.S., I think I was automatically put in a box where this is what you look like, this is where you fit. Whereas folks didn't know about my background, didn't know about what I've done, didn't know about my experience. So it was kind of hard to just kind of navigate that box because the people looking like me did not sound like me, did not have the same experience as me. So it was kind of tough to navigate. And I think now when I think about it, and I think I shared this with my wife, I think the reason why I stayed in the military that long was actually because of that feeling of belonging. Because in the military, it doesn't matter where you're from, or you sound. It's all about driving the mission and being part of a group.
Right.
So that kind of now makes sense as we talk about it.
Well, and that's and I think we had an Army Ranger on one of the episodes, and he was talking about that belonging and how you have very close friends because your life depends on it. And in their cases, especially, it's a very tight group. Yeah. And so I think there's that sense of belonging that everybody wants, whether it's an organization or a church or a group of some sort that they part of their business. There is that sense of belonging that I think, needs to happen. Yeah. And it's something we've gotten away from, so much the social media or I don't know, there's just the rat race, right? And so we were talking earlier about just, getting away and being able to even meditate and take time for yourself. Yeah. I've been one that, I've talked about this before, I'll take my shoes off, I'll ground myself, I'll go to a city park or something, it was I went to New York City and it's I live out on a ranch. So now when I go to a city, it's there's so much stuff bouncing around you don't realize because you're used to it. But I'm I need to go ground myself at Central Park. And so Absolutely. I just sat on a big rock for a minute.
But hey, whatever you say about New York, it's an awesome city.
It is an amazing city. Great city. Oh my gosh, amazing city. Yeah.
Food is phenomenal.
Incredible. Yeah. It's
having that diversity in New York where you have people from all walks of life. That's right. Is just what makes that city very unique.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. My favorite city on earth? It's pretty. There's nothing like it. I think that's probably what it is. Yeah. So there's other cities I probably like better because they're not quite as big. Yeah. But there's nothing like New York City.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
So at least not that I've experienced. I've been to Singapore. That's a great city.
Singapore is busy,
but it's not New York City.
It's not New York City. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about where you're at right now, because you're with Skilled Workforce. Yep. There was a passion. Before that, you were with Coca-Cola for 10 years?
No, actually 5.5 years.
5.5 years. Yeah. And so you're working there. Yeah. You did some sales management. Yeah. So tell me about how you transitioned from Coca-Cola.
Right.
Because, now you're looking at a Fortune 100 company. Yeah. And now you're going to your own business. Yeah. What did that look like, and what made you so crazy to jump ship?
It's a great question. And I got to tell you, it was the right opportunity, the right timing, and of course, a little bit of luck. Mm-hmm. That's what I would attribute it to, because when I transitioned out of Coca-Cola, my family was relocating to Nashville. And I saw this opportunity where I I don't want to keep working for a company or whatever. I would like to start something. And starting something where I will be able actually to manage it the way I want to, dictate where I want to go, be the leader that I want to be. Because, working with organization, you see sometimes leaders that are questionables. Yeah. And you're okay, well, I definitely don't want to be this kind of leader. But then you see leaders that are phenomenal, and you're I aspire to be like this leader. So really being in control of my own destiny. So that's what really pushed me towards starting my company. And like I said, it was very scary at first to be able to leave a good paying job with great benefits. And at the time, working with Coca-Cola, I had a pension plan, a 401k, great benefit, great salary. You talk about bonuses that comes on top of your salary, and just be able to leave what's to to be able to go into the unknown was really, really scary at first. But I got to tell you, I got to give it to my wife. She was very supportive, and she understood what I was trying to do. And of course, like, we talked about it. I said, hey, give me a year. If this doesn't work out, I'll go back to work and never look back.
I think, that conversation right there is one that is essential to have, because that is a massive step. Being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. There's no doubt about it. A lot of people want it, but they're not willing to commit the level that it takes, because it can be 18-hour, 20-hour days.
Oh, it is.
It can be
more than that.
Yeah. And it's like, when it happens, like, you have to hit it hard, right?
Absolutely.
And it's like,
Absolutely.
but spouse has to be along with you.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be divorced in no time. Yeah. And there has to be that agreement. And I love the fact you said 1 year, because in reality, it's probably more like 2 to 3 years.
Absolutely.
But you can kind of egg them on a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, like that year was...
It's not 1 year usually.
Yeah, I totally agree. But again, like, that's what I needed to do to get her on board.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah.
So I had to be like, hey, just give me that time frame and we'll see how that's going to look like. Because at the time, we sold our house in Cincinnati, took the money out of what we, the profit we made, and just said, okay, well, we're going to go to business with some of that money and then go from there. And at the time, when we moved to Nashville, I mean, the market was completely out of control, because we're going to buy a house right away. And our home in Cincinnati did not sell. She started a new job, and I was commuting back and forth from Cincinnati to Nashville every weekend, looking at home. By the time we look at the homes, they're gone. So, like, we had to sit down and be like, okay, so what are we doing? Are we ready actually to buy a home right now, or do we just kind of wait a little bit? And we start looking at, like, our priorities. What are our priorities? Like, making sure, like, the kids are in good schools, like, being able, like, to live within our means. And that's when we decided to say, okay, well, we're going to hold off buying this home. We're going to extend the lease in this corporate apartment that they gave you, to just, like, kind of see where we're at. Yeah. And then give me a year to see what's going on, and then we'll go from there. So we ended up putting all our stuff into storage for over a year, and then, start working at the business. 2:00 in the morning, you're up, trying to figure out what's going on.
Or worse yet, sometimes, like, you're trying to go to sleep because you need to sleep, and all of a sudden you just thought of something. You can't sleep. So then you might as well get up, write it down, and then maybe you can go back to sleep. But otherwise, it's up. Forget it.
It seems like you know what's going on.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Because funny story is, you're talking about getting up at 3:00 in the morning. My first contract that I had with this company happened just like that. Couldn't sleep, got up, was online looking at companies that I can work with, and then ran into this company that says, like, they're looking for teaming equipment or whatnot. I'll reach out to them around 4:00 in the morning. And this lady reached out to me around 6:00 in the morning, saying she was interested in what we're doing or whatnot. And that relationship is still alive right now, to a point where my VP of government contracting and construction was actually a referral from her.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I know there's got to be some adversity somewhere along the way with starting your own business.
Yeah.
Tell me about something that happened.
I can tell you so many, but I will pick one thing that happened. As you start your business, you are the chief operating officer, you are the sales guy, you are the HR guy, you are the CEO. So in the beginning, I was doing business development. And of course, like, as being a black person in Middle Tennessee, speaking with an accent on top of that, I walked to a construction site, going out there, showing them my pamphlet and giving my business card. And at first, I stuck my hand out. Yeah. This person did not shake it. Ugh. I said, okay, no problem. I just kept on going with my spiel. Hey,
here, let me shake, because I feel like I need to shake your hand.
Yeah. So I'm Abe. We're new to this market. We have a construction staffing firm. So if you're looking for temporary laborers, we can offer it or whatnot. And the guy just gave me about 2 minutes, listened to my story. Then I gave him my pamphlet and my business card. And he looked at it. And I said, well, thank you for your time. And walked back. And I was walking back. He just threw that stuff on the floor. So I had to go back. And I turned around. Actually, I made it a point to turn around, go back, pick up my stuff and say, hey, thank you for your time, and then move on.
Yeah.
So, that's adversity at best. But again, like, you cannot let that stop you.
That's right.
You
Well,
cannot let that stop
and a lot of people would be rejected from that, right? And
Absolutely.
there was early sales training, and it was something around coffee, right? So if you go to a coffee restaurant, or if you just go for wherever, like, and say you're a waiter or waitress, and so, would you like a cup of coffee? No, I'm good. Oh, I'm so bad at my job. I'm horrible at this. I need to quit. Some people want coffee. Some people don't want coffee.
Right.
Some people want to work with you. Some people don't.
Exactly.
So it's sorting. And it's like, leave that behind.
Yeah.
It's their loss.
Yeah.
They lost out on something tremendous.
Exactly.
And you move on.
Yeah, you cannot let that stop you, especially when you are a entrepreneur, your mindset has to shift. Mm-hmm. You're working for yourself. You don't have a salary waiting for you every week or every 2 weeks. You got to do what it takes to make it. And sometimes, you just got to go through adversity to learn from it and then be able to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for asking that question, by the way.
Workforce. Yeah. Tell me more about it, because right now, I mean, we're in an economic downturn in the U.S., right? And maybe globally. Yeah. And a lot of people have had, 40 degrees. They can't get the jobs they want. They can't get the pay they want. Now everybody's being said, oh, go to the trades. That's maybe not the right fit for everybody, but tell me about, those that it is, because there's a lot of need. There's a lot of need. And tell me about how you interact with that.
Absolutely. I mean, you could not have said it any better in terms of the workforce downturn, because what we're seeing most oftentimes here in the U.S. is we have a whole generation that is right now getting ready to retire, the baby boomers. And when you look at that generation, you have a lot of trade folks with skills, true skills. Mm-hmm. We're talking about good carpenters, good plumbers, good sheet metal workers, or whatever the case may be. And they are retiring. And there's a vacuum that is being created where now we have this young population, or the younger generation, not interested in the trade, because the trade is not as sexy, I should say. Because the trade is associated with you can go to college, that's where you go. You're coming out of prison, you have something in your background, you have a checkered background, that's where you go. So we got to find a way to make that trade a little bit more sexier, but that's a different story. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But again, in terms of workforce, we got to be able to capture that generation that is actually retiring and turn them into instructors, where they can actually pass on that knowledge to the younger generation. And then figure out a way to attract the younger generation into the trade, because these are great paying jobs. I think here in Nashville, when you look at the average salary for a skilled trade carpenter or whatever, it's about $75K. Yeah. Of course, Nashville is expensive, but $75K is a great start. Yeah, especially for someone who's coming out of high school, don't have a degree, don't have
really good pay for somebody that's like 19, 20, 21.
Yeah,
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's great pay for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to go into college debt to be able to, pay.
And that's what people forget. Is all of a sudden you have this $30, $40, $100, $200,000 in debt. That's right. I mean, I felt so bad. I remember meeting somebody, and they had we'll get some sirens in the background here, but I think it was $240,000 in debt, and they had an English degree.
Listen.
And I'm like, who lets you do that?
You know what? I think I'm going to be working for a long time, because I just sent my first daughter to college. Yeah. This year. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, it is quite expensive. Yeah. So can you imagine if you have 2, 3, 4 kids that you need to put to college? And college is not for everyone. No. It's not for everyone. And that's the reason why I think even the universities have to rethink the way they approach folks who don't want to go to college, but want to enjoy the experience. I saw a great experience in Texas, but we can talk about it later. Yeah. And I would never undo my college education, because I feel like I learned so much. Absolutely. But there is that time where you're like, oh, you know what? If I would have known, could look back on time, maybe I could have delayed it a little bit, or I would have done something different a little bit. So there are those thoughts about that too. So I think I think anybody that's thinking about it and on the fence and doesn't really know what they want to do, those are the people that need to take a year off. Honestly, they should work the trades. They should understand what it is to use your hands. You should you have to show them what's in it for them. That's right. And we had great success, especially with this workforce development program that we are championing in partnership with the Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Builders Alliance.
Yeah, talk to me about that, because that was a cool project you were mentioning.
I mean, it is a phenomenal workforce development program that is so impactful for Nashville because, with the Tennessee Titans building this $2.1 billion stadium.
Yeah,
here in
$2
Nashville.
billion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the whole area. It's not just the stadium.
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
the whole,
the whole area is going to be, growing for a long time for Nashville. Yeah. And I guess like the program is so impactful that, I mean, the way it works is we recruit folks, we get them into a program that is 6 weeks long. We pay them about $18 an hour while they're learning. My company is accredited with NCCER, and with that, we have the ability to use their curriculum in the trade and pass it on to any workforce development program that we have. So carpentry, HVAC, plumbing, things of electrical. So with that, when these folks graduate from this 6-week training program, they're really getting the foundation they need to start their career in construction because they're getting out of it with a credential that is portable, stackable, and nationwide industry recognized, right? They're getting like their OSHA certification. They're not even getting OSHA 10. These guys are working out of that program with OSHA 30, which usually supervisors have, which makes them automatically marketable.
Yeah. And they're getting paid to be trained by you.
And they're getting paid to be trained. So the program,
people move here to come to this program, or is this just for like Middle Tennessee area?
It's just for Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the Titan
Is it a nonprofit or not a nonprofit?
No, this is actually like, the Titan organization and TBA, Tennessee Builders Alliance, I think like is a joint venture between 4 different GCs, Turner, and I think like AECOM Hunt being the major, general contractors on that joint venture, just have that program. And it's extremely impactful for Nashville. And I hope that once the stadium is done being built, we still have an opportunity to run programs like that because out of that program, you can get folks out of prison. Out of that program, you can get folks, graduating from high school, don't want to go to college. So you just give them, really an opportunity to start their career in the trade, which is I think phenomenal.
Are they, could be any age, right? So somebody that already has been in corporate America, doesn't like it, they could sign up.
Absolutely.
Right?
They just have to be 18. There are minimum criteria, 18 years old. Of course, be either U.S. citizen or be able to work in the U.S. and be able to pass a background check and a drug test. The background check doesn't necessarily stop you. We just need to know what's going on there because we open to second chance employment or anything like that. So
you are open to that.
Yeah, we are. And the program also is open to it. We had folks coming out of prison that we have put in the program and they were able to turn their lives around. We have cool kids coming out of high school, not wanting to know what they want to do. They went to the program and then was able to move on in a job that they like doing. And these past 2 cohort that we had with that programs were phenomenal because we have revamped the program from 3 weeks to 6 weeks, from 100 hours to 200 hours of instruction and adding these additional certification that really allows them to start a career as soon as they graduate from the program. So great program. Very, very proud of what my team is doing and very proud of the partnership that we have going on with the Tennessee Titans and Tennessee Builders Alliance.
So if there was a group or organization that wanted to hire you, skilled workforce, to bring the workforce in, they can do that.
Absolutely.
Right? And then if there's also individuals that could get the training and then have those trades works. Is there any commitment after that 6 weeks to stay with you, or
no?
They can go wherever they want?
No, they're not working for me. So while they are in the program, my company is responsible for doing the recruitment, the vetting, the onboarding, and we also pay them on the weekly basis, and we provide all the insurances, and we also provide the instruction. Like the instructors are mine. We get them to the curriculum, get them graduate. And of course, that program is paid by the Tennessee Builders Alliance, Turner Construction.
So the trades that you currently cover, mostly commercial construction? Or
Yes.
is it any more than that?
Yes. For now, that's what we're doing because that's what we.
So electrician too?
Well, we haven't touching
Started
those
that one.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like
so
the building,
yeah.
okay, all the
So we're doing like the basics right now because when they graduate from the program, they just get their NCCER core, and we added like other trades to it. Like for this past 2 cohort, we added electrical, carpentry, and plumbing. So they have a final project at the end of the 6 weeks where all those trades are being tied in. They're building like some sort of a tiny house where they put the frames up.
Yeah.
They put the floor system, the wall system, run electrical, run plumbing. And, it's just a fantastic project.
So I know when so in my undergrad, I did rough construction. So we like put up house and stuff like that. And I was so proud to show people. I'm like, see that house and that house and that house. I worked on those. So what about, I mean, you're driving by the Tennessee Titans Stadium. You're like, I worked on that. Like, I mean, how cool is that?
It is super cool. It is super cool. It's an awesome opportunity to be part of it. And I can say that about the JW Marriott because back in 2017, that's also like one of the first projects that I sent some people there. Temporary workers working for a general contractor who had a project there. So, sometimes when you see it and you're like, okay, well, nothing was here. Now, like, it's a towering building and, they have awesome restaurant on the top floor. And, we had some people working there. It's a great feeling.
What would you tell to the person right now? Let's say let's do 2 different groups. One's going to be like your high schoolers that feel like there's not going to be jobs left because of AI or different things like that. And they're looking at something. So they're a little bit hopeless, right? They don't know where they're going. They have a lot of life to live, but they don't know what that looks like, right? And then that person who maybe just their company got downsized, same type of deal. So again, they don't know where to turn. It's hard to get hired right now. What would you tell that person right now?
Yeah, so let's start with the high schooler. I think like with the high schooler, it's just a matter of exposure, right? You got to expose them to something they didn't know about and show them what's in it for them. So with the high schooler, I would say, okay, ready to go to college. We have these trades opportunities where you can come out and try it out. If it doesn't work out, that doesn't stop you from going back to your initial route, which is pursuing college, right? Because it's not for everyone. So when you come into this program and I expose you to what the trade is about with awesome instruction, folks who will motivate you, folks who will show you the ins and outs of it, and then prepare you thoroughly to really be successful, then expose you to something that you did not know that gives you now an opportunity to start your career or know something you didn't know about. So for the individual that, the second group of individual you mentioned that has been downsized or whatever, we will come out and show you a path to a career. You can start here, gain that experience. That doesn't mean like, you're going to be, let's say, a carpenter forever. Learn the carpentry trade, be good at what you're doing. Then eventually think about becoming a business owner. Get like 2 other carpenters under your belt and start going after these commercial projects or these residential projects. So, the opportunities are there. And that's what I like about actually just America in general. The opportunities are here. Yeah. You just got to be willing to put your best foot forward.
So if you won the lottery today,
high probability.
After high probability, you got to play, right?
You got to play.
Yeah. One of my friends, he always said actually. He always said, never mind. That's a whole other side.
No, I want to know about that.
Okay, all right. Well, so my favorite bumper sticker, and this is where the conversation started from, is like Lotto, attacks on people who can't do math. Because you're probably not going to win. Right. So then, but one of my buddies who is a financial genius, he still plays. And I'm just like, why do you play when you know you're not going to win?
Well, you got to play to win.
Because somebody's going to win.
Yeah,
it's
Vegas, a matter of luck.
Vegas is like, got to pay to play to win.
That's right. I mean, there is no logic with lottery.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of luck altogether.
But say you won $1 billion. Yeah. Okay. After you did your travel and different stuff like that or whatever, what would you be doing?
Oh my gosh. I would invest in, oh my gosh. I was talking to my son about it last time because he asked me the same question. He said, Dad, if you win the lottery, what would you do? I said, we're going to be doing a lot of good. And a lot of good mean not only here in the U.S., but everywhere in the world that we have trouble and so in need. That money would be used to good use. Yeah. A good thing that I saw on social media last time was this guy, what is his name? My son always talks about him. His name is Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, yeah.
You know Mr. Beast?
I've met Mr. Beast, yeah.
You've met Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
I want to meet
Yeah,
Mr. Beast.
yeah.
Tell him there's Abe in
Okay.
Nashville who
Yeah.
wants to meet him.
Yeah.
I was so fascinated by him because, we have like these governments, we have like all these companies that are trying to do good. And this guy, a social media influencer, is going in places in Africa and like, drilling some wells, right?
Yeah.
For folks to have water
Yeah.
in a matter of like weeks.
Yeah.
And you have like organizations and governments that can even do it.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff I would do.
Yeah.
If I had that $1 million, I would be working around and traveling because we love to travel as a family, and then, finding opportunities where we can be impactful and really like make our impact known in that area.
I love that because I'd be doing the same thing. Like, so, and
But I'm serious about Mr. Beast. You got to connect.
well, I'll see. Like, it's not like I have his cell number.
There you go. You got his cell number.
No, I don't. I don't.
All right, cool.
I know somebody that does, though.
All right, I'll let you off the hook, but tell him I'm here.
Okay.
I want to meet him.
But I think the interesting thing, there's a lot to talk about with that part. But like, I think when you think about what all could be done, we had a podcast last week, and it'll probably be published just before this one. But we were talking about doing 3 things a day, small things. Mm-hmm. Like it could be picking up a piece of trash from somebody's yard, putting in the trash can. Yeah. It could be, helping somebody cross the street. It could be whatever. Like not putting yourself in danger. But for developing nations that don't, they might have centralized water or have a very restricted ability to get to water. Yeah. This is a filtration system. It's very affordable. I think it's like $20 or $40. But basically what it is like, have you ever seen a Berkey?
What is it?
Like a Berkey is like a metal container that you pour water in the top.
Yeah.
Has a filtration, filters it out. It's similar to that, but it's in like a plastic container.
Okay.
And so really cool type of scenario. So we're actually working on trying to get that actually out and marketed in more places and things like that. So that's something I just joined that to help them on some of the marketing and ideas and things like that. So
that's great.
Kind of a fun thing. When you brought up water, I just remember that.
I mean, those are the basic needs that you see like in developing countries. And when you don't travel, you don't get to see that.
That's right.
And then you get to be jetted to a point where, you have what I call first world problem.
Yeah. Now, are you doing anything in any developing companies or countries in Africa right now?
I mean, I'm dying to do something like that. I have taken a trip in February. Was it this year or last year? Anyway, I think it was February this year, in Ivory Coast.
Okay.
And I was part of Africa CEO Forum because I think there are tremendous opportunities that exist in Africa, and American companies are not necessarily looking into that because they so focus on the risk, whereas the risk, you can alleviate that risk by actually finding some workarounds. And I also started a workforce development program in Rwanda. And, we had a pause there because I was self-financing it from the U.S.
Yeah.
And it was just not conducive to, shell money there. So I needed some partnership, with some nonprofit organization to be able to really push it forward. So we had it on pause right now. But yes, I'm dying to do something there because I think the impact when you see it here in the U.S. is multiplied by 1,000 over there. Yeah. Especially when you can capitalize on a younger population because for instance, you take Africa, right? The country needs to be built.
Yeah.
And it needs to be built by African people.
Yeah.
The younger population that is out there sitting, not working, we have a tremendous opportunity to train them in the skill trades where they can become carpenters, plumbers, sheet metal workers, welders, to build the infrastructure that Africa need to develop. And that would have been a passion of mine to really find organizations that can partner with us because we know what we're doing in terms of workforce development. We can transpose it over there and make a bigger impact because by doing that, you are, first of all, cutting the youth unemployment right? You are creating a middle class that is the foundation of every solid economy, right?
Yep.
And then you are also helping them build a continent themselves without having to rely on somebody else or foreign aid or anything else to kind of build the continent. So again, if
I love
you know Mr. Beast, let him know.
Well, so here's something else though too. What if you have some of these boomers that are retiring, right? That you already are utilizing for training, right? What if there's another component of your business or organization that you start to take those people that want to give back and take to Africa and start to train people? I mean, granted, the tools and sometimes are different, right? But that's a very interesting. I did a work mission in Brazil when I was young, and making concrete and setting bricks, completely different than here.
Absolutely.
Right? But if there's something translatable, I think that would be amazing, because then they have that feel good too, and they're doing something.
I gotta tell you, if you know of a nonprofit organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates of the world, and folks like that with who else I was talking about, like Mackenzie, what is her name again? She's with Amazon.
Oh yeah,
Mackenzie Bezos.
Yes,
right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
folks like that can actually really have the financial need to make impact. I mean, partnering with those organizations will be phenomenal, because we'll show them what we can do.
Yeah.
And, hold me to it, get some KPIs and make sure, we deliver on what we say we're going to do, but we're definitely going to move that agenda forward. And there's a way of doing it. Because I think, sometimes when you involve government into certain project, it just moves slowly.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I was referencing, again, Mr. Beast, in his ability to just
navigate politics.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
You don't have to wait on the red tape government or whatever to do it. You just have the financial need to do it. You go ahead, you set up shop, and you knock it out.
Yeah. And far too often we find that even organizations that are helping in a certain area don't even talk to each other. Or look at each other as competition for some reason, or they just don't talk. So it's like, who knows why that? So if you're out there and some people that can help in this organization, 100% connect them.
Please
That'd be
do.
amazing. Yeah.
We're open to it.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, if you know people in the Middle Tennessee area, are there different workforce groups? This isn't a franchise. This is your business.
Yeah,
right?
it's my business.
But are there other ones around the country that you keep in touch with?
Absolutely. A great one that I'm in touch with, actually we share resources, is my partner, Dr. Midi Cannon. She's based out of Alabama. And as a matter of fact, if I'm doing workforce development program today, it's because of her. Phenomenal lady. She's associated with NCCER, and really outstanding. She knows the trades in and out. Really, really great partners of mine in terms of training and workforce development. So shout out to Dr. Midi Cannon there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We still don't know what
NCCER. We'll put it on. Put it on the translation or whatever. Yeah. I should know this. I should know this.
You do know it. It's just
it's
there's
not
all these
clicking
lights,
right now.
the lights, and the cameras.
Not clicking right now. But you guys will know what NCCER is about. I promise you. Yeah.
What else would you talk to those that need some more hope, or what else have we missed? Because your life is very robust. We're only touching this a little bit, but
first of all, I appreciate the opportunity really to sit down and talk to you, because this is phenomenal to get my story out. And of course, the work we are doing is so meaningful. And I would like to do more of that, because we saw how impactful it is in people's life. When you see someone coming out of prison, didn't have that much opportunity, and now you teach him how to fish to a point where now he is working for an organization and then be able to provide for his family and having to turn his life around, his or her life around. That's the best reward you can get. We've worked with a lot of different manufacturing companies, from HVAC to garage doors, different things like that in the past. Tell me more about the skilled labor that you're teaching. So right now we heavily focus on construction, and we have some apprenticeship program that we're going to start. And now just bear in mind, we're doing this because we know what we're doing in that arena. We would like to extend this and open it to other trades, in the manufacturing industry, in the medical industry, in the IT industry, if there is a need there. But you got to start somewhere first, right?
That's right.
Yeah, if you start somewhere and then you progress. And as a matter of fact, I did create a nonprofit organization part of my under my company umbrella called Skilled Workforce College, and that's my nonprofit branch. And with that, what we would like to do is actually like start going after these grants that allows us to have the funding needed to pay for this training and then offer it at no cost to the participants. So,
tell me about, so I know at the end, this is something that got me, because at the end of the 6-week training,
yeah,
what happens?
what happened is they get certified, they get exposed to the trade, and finally they get a job, a career. Like these folks, I mean, for instance, the last cohort, right? We had about like 15 people that graduated, and we had 100% job offers. They were all offered a job.
That's a pretty good
Right.
percentage.
I'm not, you can beat that.
100%.
100%. You cannot beat that, right?
Yeah.
So 100% job offers to a point where they were all offered a job. Now, are they going to take it? That's up to them. We let them to the water. That's going to be up to them now to just take that opportunity and move on. Most of them, I think, like, took the opportunity. And I think the last guy I spoke with out of the cohort, while he was being trained and getting paid $18, the first job that he got out of that 6-week training and the NCCER credential that he was able to get and the OSHA 30 and everything else, he started at $23 an hour.
Okay.
So that's the start, right?
Yeah.
After a 6-week training program.
Yeah.
So you really can beat that.
Right. But one of the things I also noted was that you have a graduation.
That's right.
Talk about that.
I mean, I cannot take full credit for that because I think like I stole it from the lady I just mentioned, Dr. Vidi Cannon. I saw her doing it in one of her graduation. And the reason why it was so meaningful for me was you got these kids, right? Some of them may not have a high school degree. Some of them may not have the opportunity ever to go to college, right? And they go into a short training program, 6 weeks. And then at the end of the 6 week, you said, hey, this is what you have accomplished. And then you put them in these cap and gowns. And then you have them like walk. And then you have like the music, the same music that I listened to when I was getting my graduate degree or my undergraduate degree, having the same procession going where now you're a graduate, you move your tassel from left to right or whatever, right to left, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So that is so phenomenal and impactful in their lives. Because now you told them like, okay, you were here. Like what one of my training partners is saying, like you were a butterfly. His name is Joe Shaw. Shout out to Joe Shaw too. And of course, the markers. And of course, Matt Server. Those are folks like that are really like transforming the life of these young folks. And, you see him starting here as a butterfly. I mean, as a how do you say it again? Not a butterfly, but what is it?
Like a cocoon?
Yeah, they started in the cocoon,
Yeah,
right?
it's
What's the word for it?
it's metamorphosis. Is that it? Right, metamorphosis. Yeah, you
whatever
go
it
from
is.
a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Voilà.
There you go.
Caterpillar, the butterfly.
Ugly worm, butterfly.
Exactly.
Pretty.
And then you see like that progression in such a short time, and then the camaraderie they are able to build in that 6-week program. I mean, that just like melts your heart.
Yeah.
And then you see him at graduation, and ready to move on. It's just awesome things to witness, and I would not trade that for nothing in the world.
I love it. Well, I just knowing that a lot of times in life, right? We get to a certain point and you got to put a line in the sand.
Yeah.
That tassel being flipped to the other side is a line in the sand.
Absolutely.
You accomplished something. You can be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And you can move on, right?
And on top of that, they also give you like that motivation to even go further.
That's right.
Right?
That's
So
right.
now I accomplished this. Okay, now I'm just not going to stop here. I'm a carpenter today. Tomorrow I may be running like, a small business. Employing like, 10 to 15 people. Yeah. So
Because you're learning the principles.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I tell them usually at orientation. The sky is the limit for you. Yeah.
Well, I love it. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much, Abe.
Thank
I
you for
really
having me.
appreciate it. Yeah,
This
this
is
has
awesome.
been awesome. And so, for those at home, there's a lot of things that I think if you know some people, definitely look up skilled workforce, and maybe there's some donations for the things that can happen, or connections that can happen for those things that maybe might be bigger in Africa, or maybe some of the other cities around as well. But
Absolutely.
But really, here we are. We're trying to bring hope and also encouragement to so many different people. And I mean, your story is awesome and inspiring.
Thank
And
you.
We just kind of touched the surface. There's so much more. But for this one, you know what to do, like or share, and give this to somebody that needs it, and make sure that you share this on. So thanks. This is the end of another episode of Regenerative Inspiration, and we can't wait to the next one.
And I would just say this to close. None of this would have been possible without my family, friends, and my team. They've been phenomenal, and I could not be surrounded by better people.
Yeah. Well, it takes a team. Right?
Absolutely.
You got to make it happen.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much. Okay.
That's fantastic.
Until next time.